Well, good morning, everyone. I know this isn't your first day of training camp. You've been in it for a while now.
Hi, Lou. Just wondering, you've probably had the chance to watch the World Cup like the rest of us. Is this the fastest type of hockey that you've seen in all your years?
Well, it's certainly been exciting. It's certainly the young fellows. I think it's just great for the game. I think it's an indication of where the game is at and the prospects that we have for future stars.
Lou, can you address the Joffrey Lupul's situation, please?
Sure. As you know, Joffrey, in the middle of February, had surgery and missed the rest of the season, and has been at rehab all summer. And once rehab thought there was a chance of him getting back on the ice, he did so. He got on the ice, and he had the same discomfort. So we brought him back, and he saw our doctors. And when he went through the physical, they both felt that he wouldn't be able to play. He's very disappointed. He worked very hard at it this summer. And I know a lot of you have tried to reach out to him because he and I have been in communication. And Steve will have a statement from him later today of what he has to say about it. But he's disappointed. He's going to continue to work at it, wants to play, and we'll just have to wait and see.
I'm sorry, just to follow up, the timeline on what happened, on when he had the physical and all that?
He had this physical over this past week.
And Lou, how about Freddie Anderson? I understand he's still hurt. What's his status going?
Yeah, he's progressing. We're certainly not going to rush anything, but until he's ready, we're not going to have any comment. But he is progressing. He has had no setbacks, so hopefully we'll be on the time frame that we originally thought.
Lou, given all that Mitch Marner's accomplished the last couple of years, is the next step the National Hockey League, or in a perfect world, would ideally a middle step like the American Hockey League be a great place for him if he was able to do so?
Well, first of all, we hope the next step is there for him. He's going to be given every opportunity. We all know the type of career that he has had in junior. We all know what he has done. To speak about the American League, that isn't an alternative, so it's not something to even think about. So right now we'll just focus in on the camp he has, and a decision will be made from camp. But he will be given every opportunity, and he has as good a chance as anyone to be here.
Lou, you have a lot of players in the World Cup. Some of them will be eliminated today. For those guys, will they be in Halifax, or they get a couple of days off? What's their timeline to join the team?
No, first of all, there's no set rule on when they can return. There's no mandatory time off, but we will give them this weekend off, and having a game Monday, they certainly wouldn't be playing in that. So we'll see them when we get back. They will have the weekend off.
Lou, Neil Davidson from
Yes.
the Canadian Press. Despite the results last year, there was a lot of optimism. So what kind of advances are you expecting from this young team this season?
Well, there were a lot of advances last year, I think. First of all, with the new coaching staff and trying to establish a culture, both on and off the ice. More important, what was done on the ice as far as what's expected of the players. The system that Mike has put in, there's a comfortability with it. We only have maybe 4 new players going into that lineup, one being a goalie. So the transition as far as time frame shouldn't be long. So from that end of it, the foundation is there. Now what we need is to see where the improvement is of the young players that did get experience. So, we'll take it a day at a time, but we won't get off our focus as far as what the plan is as far as progression.
Lou, I know Mike Babcock mentioned at the end of last year that competition for jobs at the start of training camp wasn't the same as the end of the year. There were more players competing for jobs. Does that make a difference for you with this training camp?
No question. I think it's going to be a very competitive camp. We do have depth in just about every position at different levels, and you always know there's always an unexpected. You always hope the unexpected is in a positive line rather than a negative. So we're all looking forward to it, just simply to see where the unknown is.
Lou, just a couple more from me. No Mike Babcock for the first week or so, is that a disadvantage in terms of team building for you? Like, would you like to have him there ideally?
Well, first of all, naturally, you'd like to have him there because of the continuity, but I don't think we'll miss a beat. Jim Illen and DJ Smith, they know the system as well as anybody. It'll be a different voice for a week, but not different language. So I think things will run extremely smooth, and Mike has been involved continuously. I don't think anyone would doubt that he wouldn't, and you know, we're very comfortable.
This is sort of the quietest training camp open I've been part of with the leagues. With the World Cup sort of taking the spotlight and the heat, do you think this is an advantage for your guys to sort of come together under the radar almost in your own city?
I like it. Last year we had the Blue Jays, now we've got the World Cup. So, you know, it's all positive. I think that the effort that and what I've seen of the physical results so far of our players, they've all had outstanding summers as far as working at what we've asked them to work at, and now we're all anxious to get them on the ice.
Lou, what's your assessment of Nikita Zaitsev out of this World Cup?
Well, I've been impressed. I've been impressed certainly with his skating, and I'm probably most impressed with his poise of how he's handled playing against the top players on each team that he's faced and being put in key situations. So we know what the coaching staff thinks of him. You find him, you know, the first one out there in all situations, you know, shorthanded, power play, 5-on-5. So we'll look forward to getting him and certainly in camp and really find out more about him.
Lou, Brendan indicated in the summer there'd be discussion at some point in camp about maybe naming a captain. What's your feeling?
I'm sorry, maybe what?
Maybe naming a team captain.
No, I don't think there's any timetable for it. We could not. I think both Mike, Brendan, and I will certainly discuss that. But at this point, we do not have a captain and have not decided on one way or the other. But it's not something that is in the forefront at this point.
Lou, Michael Grange from SportChek.
Yes, ma'am.
Austin Matthews has really opened a lot of eyes at the World Cup. What is your impression on how he's contributed? And,
Well, I could probably almost ditto what the question was on Nikita. Seeing him go out there in, you know, all situations, and especially, you know, with the two players that he's playing with, as far as how they interact, and there's no question he has a bright future, and it's just exciting to see him play. But I think the most exciting thing is to know he's ours.